sleigh ride together with you. Outside, snow is falling and friends are calling you. It's lovely weather for a sleigh ride together with you. Just see those.
Ago, they raised the 12th man banner, and this place, as usual, rocking and rolling. These folks love their football in Seattle. This was the scene a moment ago as the home squad came out of the tunnel, and it was just absolutely deafening in this building. They're set for football, so are we, as the Seahawks get set to match up with the New York Giants. For Seattle. Here's the kicker, Jason Myers, to get this one started. And off we go from Seattle. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. First go on offense for the Giants under the guidance of Daniel Jones, the former Duke Blue Devil.
A little bit of broken record time, partner, because we know that this young man, Daniel Jones, was a surprise pick at number 6 overall. But I thought that he got better and better as the year went on in his rookie year. A lot of trial by fire. Needs to protect the football better while in the pocket, but when he's at his best, he can throw it and run it, and he's an ascending quarterback. 24 touchdown passes as a rookie.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. There's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33.
It's a gain of 8. Brings up 2nd and 2. At the
now Gallman. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Taken down at the 43-yard line.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight-ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid gain.
Bobby Wagner, the NFL's leading tackler in 2019, there on the stop. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
It's 2nd and 8.
Throwing Jones. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Gone after the sack. He's still down on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. After that sack, 3rd and long, tough spot for Jones and the Giants. From the gun, Jones. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Carlos Dunlap, the Florida Gator, chopping his way to the quarterback. Well, they went with the nickel. They throw in an extra defensive back. Coverage was very good.
Yeah, it was exactly as you would expect. A passing down. You bring in the nickel package. Just as you described, the coverage was excellent and allowed one of their linemen to end up getting to the quarterback.
We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. So here come the Seahawks now for their first drive. They'll be led out by a 6-time Pro Bowler now in his 9th NFL season. It's Russell Wilson.
Whenever you think about the Seattle Seahawks, one of the first things that pops to mind is how well they run the football and how much they like doing it. But you have to also look at how well Russell Wilson has played at the quarterback spot. Hasn't just been a game manager. Last year, over 4,100 yards passing, the 2nd most in his career. 31 touchdown passes and took care of the ball as well because he threw just 5 interceptions. If you need to open things up, Russell Wilson can get it done.
Throwing now, Wilson on first down. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete. Will Dissly, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up second down.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the Tucker rule that they can fall back on anymore.
Dancing to his left. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Well, he certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Wilson after the play fake to Carson. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
A very early momentum changer there. Actually a dream killer for the defense because they forced a 3rd down. Felt like they had a good chance to get off the field defensively, and then they got hit with that big play.
This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And he gets it down to the 32. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4.
It's a pickup.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
On 2nd down, it's Carson. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down about the 21 or 22. It's a 1st down on a gain of 10.
Good gain by Chris Carson. Picks up a 1st down, and you just have to love his running style. Talk about a straight-ahead guy, no-nonsense type of a runner. He's averaged 82 yards a game over the last 2 seasons and had 1,230 yards on the ground in 2019.
They'll throw on 1st down with Wilson, escaping the pressure right. He'll try and run it. And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
8 yards on the pickup. Brings up 2nd and 2.
On 2nd down now, it's Carson. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. A 5-yard gain there makes it 1st and goal.
Chris Carson has proven to be a workhorse for the Seattle Seahawks, and they continue to expand his game. We know that he can run inside and be a bruising type of a player, but he has surprising speed to the perimeter, and they've expanded his game now by throwing it to him out of the backfield.
And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Russell Wilson on target to DK Metcalf. And the Seahawks have taken a 1st quarter lead.
Myers for the extra point.
An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym, preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
After the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. Fielded near the back of the end zone. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating 1st downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
Jones to throw again. Space to maneuver at the 40. Open target here, Darius Slayton. And finally brought down at the 38. A big gainer there on the catch and run, 37 yards.
Oftentimes now, offenses aren't nearly as precise as days gone by. They just tell receivers, find an open patch of grass and let the quarterback find you. And that's exactly what they did on that play. First with the pass through the air, nice chunk of yardage there, and then additional pickup with his legs after the catch.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
At the Seahawks' 36-yard line.
Operating from the gun, Jones. Over the middle, complete to Tate. And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up third down. It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on third down. From the gun, Jones. Just what Seattle was hoping for. The coverage holds, and now fourth down.
As defensive coordinators around the league tell me all the time, that throw is not for every quarterback because you've really got to drive the ball downfield. It's going to be a tight window for him to fit that one into. In this case, unsuccessful.
These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 24. He gives it off to Carson. Ooh, with a juke. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. He's brought down by...
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
On 2nd and a yard. Wilson. That quick target here, complete to Metcalf. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
That's good.
Well, remember, they tried to give him the ball and let him run on the last play, but I think the light bulb went off in their play caller's mind, and this time, they get it to him the more conventional way, and it's much more successful as well.
They'll run on 1st down. Carson, and he's going to get this past the 50 and into Giant territory. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4.
On 2nd down, here's a keeper by the QB. Complete on the quick throw to Moore. And they're going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 34-yard line. 13 yards as the quick slant keeps the drive moving. After 7-3 the score on EA. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's Carson. And he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line.
The tackle made by Dexter Lawrence.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, helped their spot, and stacked him up.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And they're going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 18. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it and throw it. Go play action and take your shot at the end zone.
This one into the hands of Metcalf. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion. 2nd and 2. 1st down marker at the 8. They run it with Carson. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. A 10-yard touchdown run. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. People always talk about one of his biggest strengths running the football, vision, and he found the spot there, went into the end zone.
You're exactly right about that. It wasn't just the vision, right? Once he saw the gap, decisiveness, made up his mind, and about the power to finish the play. Not only did he get good blocking, he created his own space as well.
And he's got it up and through. So that drive goes 8 plays. And it was all capped off by the Chris Carson touchdown run.
Jason Myers to kick off for Seattle.
After the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. Fields it in the middle of the end zone. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line.
25-yard line.
And New York set to take the field. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. That's caught by his tight end, Evan Ingram. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
This defense is really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense got to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 22. Here's Wilson. He'll find Metcalf. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
And all the way down inside the 25 before he gets out of bounds. A big play that time for the Seahawks. 47 yards. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let them get to the 2nd level because sometimes they'll break off the big run.
And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Russell Wilson on target to DK Metcalf. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. So simple math here in the first half. They've had 3 drives offensively, and they have scored every time, and they've got the lead.
Well, whenever we talk about adjustments, we usually talk about an offense making adjustments, right? This is all about the defense. They've got to figure out some way, somehow to slow them down. Do they blitz a little bit more? Do they play more zone coverage? Right now, they don't know where to go because they're hitting them in every direction.
And his kick is right through. Hardly any time taken off the clock there. 2 plays, and they find the end zone for 6 points. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. Takes this about 5 yards deep, and he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. New York ready to go again offensively. And this, let's face it, an important drive if they're going to get back into this ballgame.
Think about going into the locker room down 21-10 as opposed to 21-3.
And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And they bring this one back. It's a fumble recovery and a Seattle touchdown. This first half has been a nightmare for that offense. Defense just dominating them.
When you're picking up the ball, picking up their mistakes, and taking it the other way and putting it in the end zone, that's a defense's dream. They're having that type of a game.
Everything that can go wrong has gone wrong for this offensive unit.
Myers to kick off for Seattle.
And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This taken in about 4 yards deep. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25.
There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. Looking for a bounce back. Had the fumble a moment ago that went for a touchdown the other direction. See if he can get back in rhythm.
And you have to be very careful about having too quick of a hook with really good players. I did a guy's game in high school where he fumbled 3 times in the first quarter, finished with over 300 yards on the night, later ended up in the NFL. If you've got a talented back, give it back to him.
And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves him with a 3rd and 3.
And it's 3rd down.
Here's Gallman. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. A 40-yard punt, 5 yards on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Here's Russell Wilson and the Seahawks offense now getting set to go again. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence. Does a great deal for your team. Gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first-half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and fling him on the field, folks. He wants that type of celebration.
We talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
We remind you that coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will be alongside. He'll have highlights and analysis from Orlando of this first half of action. Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one a gain of 20 and a first down. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
On second down, it's Carson. And he's going to get this past the 50 and into Giant territory. Call it a gain of 6 on the play. That'll bring up 3rd and 8.
It's a gain of 6. Makes it 3rd and 8.
Here's Wilson. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Logan Ryan. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops.
By the Giants.
When I looked down, he was kind of shaking his head right after he threw that pass. What did you see?
Well, from a defense's perspective, anytime you have your eyes back towards the quarterback, you're in a position to make a play on the ball, whether it's a big-time play by you or an overthrow by the quarterback. You have a much better opportunity.
The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
Jones now from the gun on 3rd down. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. Here's Riley Dixon now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the Michigan man, Jabril Peppers. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
At the 49-yard line.
False start there. That will set the offense back 5 yards.
Brandon, the lineman, certainly flinched there before the snap. A good call.
And maybe they were coming with a blitz that time, and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it. Might have been a little discussion down there. Bad guys coming. Pick them up. Pick them up. And someone jumped.
Over the middle, complete. It's Tate. And with 1 second left, they get the timeout. And they'll have a chance to kick the field goal before intermission. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. He hit his first one, this from 44 yards out now. And now we'll get a late timeout. as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. He hit his first one, this from 44 yards out now. And the 11-year veteran bangs it through, and that will do it for this first half. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, right, Brandon. Thanks very much. And welcome in, everyone, to this slimmed-down version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. We saw Chris Carson lead the way in that first half.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway. That'll be taken about a yard deep. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25-yard line. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. This is Carson. And not much there at all. He's up only to about the 16-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think
rush coming, and he's taken down.
They need to stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the third quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go to the lockers with that 2-3 score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
Left side here taken in by Metcalf. And he's able to get this down deep on the Giants side of the field. A big play there on the catch and run. 74 yards.
First and 10 at the 14.
I can still hear reverberate through this thick skull of mine. Crossing routes versus man-to-man coverage, it's a bad matchup for the defense. Those tend to work very well as they run away from a defender.
On first down, Carson. He's going to get 4 out of this as he's down to the 10-yard line.
Chris Carson.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and into the game situations about how much time's on the board and, you know, what you need to do? Sometimes you don't even have to worry about that. That's just smart football. You know, that kind of a lead, staying in bounds, it burns clock, even in a situation that we're not really focused on it.
He was brought down at the
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
On third down, it's Carson, and he will have the first down before he's brought down at the 3. A 5-yard gain, and now they're set up first and goal.
First and goal at the 3-yard line.
Now they'll throw it with Wilson. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Tyler Lockett was the target there, but it'll be second and goal.
Leads to second and goal.
And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 6. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, and that's it.
And he finds Lockett in the end zone. Touchdown, Seattle. Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. That was timed up so well. The route, the throw, touchdown.
Myers connects on the PAT. And that'll push the lead up to 29 now. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
5-yard line.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled. A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. Before we came up to the booth, the last thing he said as we were walking off the field, want to play mistake-free football. Well, that just went out the window there with a pick.
And do you remember what you said to me when we were walking up to the booth after he said that? You're like, oh, fatal last words. Every time we hear that, things tend to fall apart a little bit, and that's what we saw there. Didn't get enough on that throw, and it turned into an interception.
That'll pick up the first down for Seattle on a gain of 18.
18-yard line.
From the shotgun, Wilson steps away to his left. He's going to take off with it. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And the Giants have it. It's picked up. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. You think about it, Charles, this is not a quarterback that's used to running the football a lot. In that time, he was loose with it, had it knocked free.
He always has to think to himself that there's always going to be traffic around because of what you just said. Not that elusive, not going to get into the open field very often. Remember, he's not Lamar Jackson, not Michael Vick back in the day. Always has to protect the football because there's always going to be people around.
Brings up 2nd and 10. At the 36.
Looking to throw on second down. Jones over the middle, and it's incomplete. Golden Tate, his intended receiver. Third down here.
It's 3rd down.
Now Jones
Yards to
sets up the screen to Lewis. Good contain, no gain on the screen, and it'll bring up 4th down.
They dialed up the blitz on 3rd down, and your worry as a defense that they can hit you with a big play in that situation. Instead, the blitz pays off, able to rally to the football and make the play.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Fair catch called. It's taken in right at the 20-yard line. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And last time, the fumble, the turnover. Now, they still have the lead, but I don't think coaches care. The turnovers will bother them no matter what the scoreboard says.
That's the relief that you still have the lead, but coaches look at what if and what it should be. Turning the ball over when they get a chance to score more points and increase the lead, that's what's going to affect them.
And they're also thinking to future weeks, maybe when the game's closer, right?
No doubt about it. You want to clean up everything. Let's just be honest about it. They want everything to be perfect at all times. They don't want to give up anything that's going to hurt their team.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Brings up 2nd and 4.
Coming to you. Check.
They run again with Carson. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here. 3rd and 5. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. 11 yards there and a first down for Seattle.
At the 31-yard line.
Here we go, D. Get off the field.
Play action. It's Wilson. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Russell Wilson now with 4 touchdown passes on the afternoon. And the Seahawks are running away with this one.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that, truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
25-yard line.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep him warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
2nd and 7 now from the 28.
I can't believe they even let you play.
Operating from the gun, Jones. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Tate. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for them. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion.
Now Jones on 3rd and 2. And Tate's got it. And he will have a Giants first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here. Here's Jones on 1st and 10. Catch made by Slayton.
Jones pass.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And his throw's going to be incomplete. They were trying to get it there to Sterling Shepard, and it's 3rd down.
It's 3rd down. And 5 yards.
Again, he'll drop to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down.
Normally you think the tight end's going to be able to catch the football and handle that contact, but in this case, maybe a little too much target to hit. That one was timed well, incomplete.
And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 16-yard line.
16-yard line.
DK Metcalf for the Seattle offense about set to take over once again. So far, he has the trio of touchdowns. Obviously, it's been a pretty good game for him.
So if this were hockey, they'd be throwing their hats out on the ice for the hat trick, right? I'm not sure exactly what you do in the NFL except applaud and continue to hope you see a little bit more of this. What a tremendous game.
You want to start a new tradition? What can we throw on the field?
I don't know.
Throw your mic out there.
A lot of fans would like that. Cut his mic off.
3 touchdowns so far. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
It's a 9-yard gain, and it'll keep the drive moving. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
Left side complete to Lockett. A first down there on a pickup at 25. Offensively, another big chunk of yardage, Charles, but defensively, they had all this talk about trying to limit explosive plays. They have not been able to do that.
They discussed it all week, but they haven't been able to execute it at all, haven't been able to find a way to slow down this offense. They're seeking answers and not coming up with any.
And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They've got a 2nd down now as they look to salt this one away. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to, and it doesn't matter what the defense thinks.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. They seemingly just continue to score at will, and as great as it's been for the offense, you got to feel for that defense down there.
I love how you use the word will, because both teams came into the game with the will to win.
Oh, and now they're going to fake it. Trying to lob it in there, but it's incomplete.
The fake extra point.
I know they're not asking me, but I'll give you my opinion anyway. I think it's time to erase that play from the call sheet. I guess they figure with the big lead they can experiment a little bit, but all in all, just go ahead and put that play on ice.
And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for the... Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 32. Yet another mistake after the interception there. And, guys, you look up at the scoreboard. They just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter. Oh, Wilson going to throw and give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues.
Well, this is long since over, and some might see this as overkill, but remember, this is a team that puts on the hard hats, grabs the lunch pail, and tells everyone, we're going to give you a full 60 minutes, and that's exactly how they're playing this one out.
Extra point up and through by Myers, and the lead will swell by one more. Fields it in the middle of the end zone, and he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25.
25-yard line.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes.
And the Seahawks defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Jaron Reed muscles his way in for the sack. They're in some hot water now after that sack. It's 2nd and 21.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week, we'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
Charles Davis and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Garner. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. It's a win for the Seahawks here as we say so long from Seattle.